Welcome to Conversations with Dr. Omotola, where we have real powerful conversations designed to inspire brilliant minds to build influence, impact, and income from their expertise. If you're a professional, especially an academic professional, sitting on your brilliance and unsure how to monetize it, this conversation is for you. We're still on our 60-day journey, and today is episode 10. Today, I'm speaking directly to lecturers, researchers, PhD holders, and subject matter experts. Those of you who have spent years building knowledge, but are still asking, how do I actually turn this into income beyond my salary? Because here's the truth. Your brilliance as an academic is too valuable to be confined to just one income stream. You see, there are 5 powerful ways to monetize your brilliance as an academic professional. And once you understand this, you begin to see your knowledge not just as information, but as income, as influence, and as impact waiting to be activated. The first pathway I'm going to show you is speaking. Your knowledge can take you beyond classrooms, into conferences, workshops, corporate spaces, global platforms. Because speaking allows you to share your expertise, build authority, and get paid for your voice. Because you're not just talking, you're delivering transformation through insight. But let me address something very important, especially for you academics, my fellow academics. Many of you are already speaking, but we present at conferences. You share papers, you sit on panels, and after all that preparation, after all that travel and intellectual contribution, you're not paid. You don't get paid. In fact, sometimes you are the one paying to be in the room. Now, let me be clear. Academic conferences are powerful. They build credibility, they build networks, they build intellectual contribution, but they are not designed to pay you. And that is where the shift must happen. Because there's a difference between academic speaking for recognition and strategic speaking for income and influence. You must begin to ask yourself, how do I move from speaking at academic conferences just for promotion to speaking at different platforms to get paid? You see, it will require you positioning yourself, packaging your brilliance, and being intentional with your visibility beyond academia. Let me show you how to make that shift. Number 1, you just don't present research, you translate it. Your knowledge must be understandable and applicable beyond academic audiences. Number 2, you build a speaker identity. What are you known for? What transformation do you want to deliver when you speak? Number 3, you have to leverage your academic platforms as credibility, not as destination. Use conferences as a proof of expertise, but not as your only stage. Number 4, expand into paid spaces, corporate organizations, institutions, because they will pay you to speak and solve their problems. Remember that you are trained to solve problems. Solving problems is your forte. So instead of saying, I speak at conferences, begin to say, I am a speaker who delivers value across platforms, academic and beyond. Because your voice is not just for presentation, it is for positioning. Remember, it is for influence and also for income. And don't feel guilty about it. You didn't bag years of degrees for nothing. And when you begin to see it that way, you stop just speaking to be heard. You start speaking to be paid, to be recognized, and to be impactful. The second pathway of turning your brilliance into an income is by writing, turning your ideas into assets. You see, your brilliance can become books. It can become articles. It can become thought leadership content on blogs, on social media, on print media, and so on and so forth. It could also become research simplified for broader audiences. Writing does 2 things. Number 1, it positions you as an authority. And number 2, it creates long-term intellectual assets which can be licensed and monetized. Your ideas should not stay in your head. They should live where the world can access them and ultimately pay you for them. The third way you can turn your brilliance into an income is by teaching beyond the classroom. You can be a trainer, and this one is especially powerful for academics because at your core, you are already a teacher. Whether you're a lecturer, a researcher, a subject matter expert, you have been trained to break down complex ideas, You have been trained to transfer knowledge, to develop minds, to create understanding. Teaching is not new to you, it is your natural strength. But here is where many academics miss it. You are teaching, but you are not yet monetizing your teaching beyond the classroom. Your knowledge is often confined to semesters, limited to institutions, restricted to specific audiences. And because of that, your income remains fixed instead of scalable. But I want you to imagine this. What if what you teach in one classroom could reach hundreds, thousands, even globally, without you having to repeat yourself every time? And this is where teaching and training becomes a business. In fact, you can turn it into a business model. So how do you monetize your teaching? Let me teach you a practical way. You could monetize through online courses. And this is where you create structured learning experiences for people to access them anytime, anywhere. You could create masterclasses, create focused high-value sessions that solve a specific problem. You could create certification programs, a premium in-depth post that positions you as an authority. And then let me take this deeper. If you want to turn your teaching into income, here are key shifts you must make. You must change from curriculum into transformation. Don't just teach content, teach outcomes. What will someone be able to do after learning from you? You must change your mindset from semester-based to structured offers. Your knowledge should not just be locked into timelines. Package it into programs people can enter in at any time. And you must also change from local classroom to global audience. Your classroom is no longer limited by location, and technology allows your brilliance to travel. You must go from repetition to replication. Instead of teaching the same thing over and over, build systems that will allow your knowledge to teach for you. Remember, you're not just a lecturer, you're a knowledge architect. You're not just teaching students, you are building learning experiences that can generate income, impact, and influence. And when you begin to see your teaching this way, you stop being limited by time and you start building scalable value from what you already know. Because your classroom was never meant to be your boundary, it was meant to be your foundation. 4, you can be a mentor and a coach. The 4th pathway is mentoring and coaching. This is where your experience becomes someone else's shortcut. People are not just paying you for information. They are paying you for guidance, for clarity, for proximity, for transformation. This is one of the most powerful ways to monetize your brilliance, and this is what I do in the Dr. Omotola mentorship experience. Because you know what? Being a mentor and a coach creates both impact and premium income. And a vivid example is the Dr. Omotola mentorship experience, how I was able to turn my expertise and experience into my signature mentorship offer. And number 5 is consulting. This is where your expertise solves problems at a very high level. You can work with organizations, institutions, and governments, and they are willing to pay for insight, strategy, and solutions. Because when you position yourself very well, you move from being an employer or an employee to becoming an advisor and authority. So now I want you to pause. Imagine your brilliance flowing through your voice, your ideas, your systems, your relationships, and of course your expertise. That is how you build multiple streams of income as an academic professional. And let me say this, the reason many academics don't monetize at this level is not because they can't. It's because they lack clarity, they lack structure, they lack positioning, and sometimes they just simply don't know where to start. And this is exactly why I created the Dr. Omotola mentorship experience, where you are taught how to build the business of your brilliance. Because I specialize in helping academic and career professionals turn their knowledge into structured offers. I help them to position themselves as authorities. I help them build multiple income streams from their expertise so that they are no longer confined to one pathway, but they will operate at the level of influence, income, and impact. So if you're listening to this and you know I have more in me and I am ready to monetize it intentionally, then send me a DM with the word Brilliance or click on the link in my bio to join the mentorship. And as we continue this journey, I want you to remember this. Your brilliance is not limited to a classroom. It is designed for the world. Your knowledge is not just for teaching, it's for building. Your brilliance was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to be built into a business. I'll see you in episode 11.